from Canterbury Trails Farm. Today we're going to be canning green beans, and it's a pressure canning recipe, and it's very simple. We're just going to boil our green beans for 5 minutes, and mine are already going. I have my jars sterilizing. I'm fixing to take those out. We're going to be putting the filled jars back in the canner, and we'll be pressure canning at 10 pounds for 25 minutes. If you're doing pints of green beans, you will be doing that for 20 minutes. Green beans are really simple. I'm not putting any salt or anything in them. I'm just boiling them for 5 minutes. I'm going to put them in my jars. I'm going to top them off with boiling water and put them back in the canner. So it's nothing complicated, no spices or anything. So let me start getting my jars out of the canner and lining them up, and pretty soon we're going to be putting the green beans into the cans. I might also note I also have my lids simmering in hot water. This is probably the last of my green beans. It's looking like the garden is done, and in that case next week I will be pulling everything and getting ready to put in my carrots and my 2 to 3 inches of about probably more like 3 in the canner. And mine had a little mark for putting on my lid. Line up in front. I've got a kettle of boiling water ready to go. You want to have a clean towel to wipe your lids off with. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start filling my jar. Let's see if I can get this. And I've already cut, I like to use scissors. I think it's faster to snip off the ends and cut them in half. So I've already done all that. And shake them down there. You'd be surprised how many beans you can end up getting in a jar here. There's always a little air pocket here or there. Okay, I'm going to just top it off with some of the boiling water. I want to leave a 1/2 inch of head space at the top here. I'm going to wipe off my rim with hot water. I'm pretty sure nothing got on there. It never hurts to do it. Use my jar lifter, my lid lifter. Bring it down. Always make sure you have fingertip type. Make sure you have your the inset that goes in with your canner in. If you don't have that, you need to have some sort of rack or at the very least a folded towel in there. Otherwise your jars will burst. You don't want them sitting on that hot. Lid. When you get into the rhythm, especially if you're doing a lot of jars, you just get used to doing it. Some people like to do it one at a time. I think I might have enough for a pint. If you're doing a mixed, like I'm doing the 2 quarts in a pint jar, you have to, in the pressure canner, you have to use the time for the largest items. So when you're doing mixed items, like quarts and pints, you need to use the time for the quarts. They're in the canner. I'm going to be closing my canner up here. It's an all-American canner. Mine does not have a gasket. It's metal to metal. I line up an arrow. doing the opposite sides at the same time. I've already put a little cleaner through my vent to make sure it was not blocked. Okay, now my lid is on. Now I'm going to turn on my burner and I'm going to let it go for 7 minutes until while it releases steam. And at that time, I will put on my weight. Okay, it's been 7 minutes and my canner has been blowing steam. So now I'm going to put on my weight, and I'm using a 10. My weight it's a 10 pounds there, and I'm going to let it reach 10 pounds on my gauge. Some canners don't have a gauge. Mine has a gauge. So I'm going to let it get to 10 pounds, and when it starts jiggling, then I'm going to start my timer for 25 minutes. So, okay, my canner has reached its weight, and it's doing its jiggling. With the pressure canner, what you want to aim for is 1 to 4 jiggles of this weight per minute. So it takes it a while to get back and forth. So I'm going to get my weight regulated. I have set my timer for 25 minutes. And our jiggles are doing pretty good on the canner. I'm just going to let it sit here and let you listen to it for a couple seconds. And then we'll be back when the green beans are ready to come out of the canner. Hi, okay, my timer's gone off, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my burner off, and I'm going to let this sit until my gauge reads 0. It usually takes 20 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes, depending on how hot it was and how long it was going and everything. So I'm going to leave my weight on. I'm not taking that off until it registers 0, and I'm not opening it until it registers 0. When it registers 0, we will take the weight off and we will open it and we will get our jars out. Okay, the gauge on my canner is now registering 0, so I'm going to take off my weight. I'm going to unscrew the canner opposites at a time here. So, I imagine they'll start popping here soon. If you look at close here, you'll see that you can still see them boiling. I've had jars do that for up to about 3 or 4 hours, just depending on how long they were in there and how hot it got and everything. So that's totally normal. So they'll probably pop here in the next couple seconds. It was quick and easy. I had my canner on. I was able to read a magazine, drink a cup of coffee while it was going. It didn't take too long, 25 minutes. And it took another about 25 minutes for my canner to get back to 0. So almost the same amount of time waiting for it to be processed. I was waiting for my canner to return back to 0 so I could open it. I will leave some written instructions in the little box below, and I hope you learned something useful today. Bye.